Oh, sit down. Oh, I'm the Little Rock of Arkansas, the Smoky Mountains and a crosscut saw, Louisiana cooking and a watermelon vine. I'm a tall Georgia pine, and Georgia's on my mind. I'm the Tennessee waltz, the all-night sings, Florida suns and Silver Springs. I'm Huck and Tom and the old folks at home. I'm Klingman's Dome. I'm Corn Pone. I'm the stars that fell on Alabama, coffee in the morning and country ham, a dusty Delta dawn, a Carolina moon, magnolias in bloom. I'm a thoroughbred grazing on Kentucky bluegrass. I'm pecan pie, tea of sassafras. I'm the Mississippi River as it rounds the bend. I'm gone with the wind. Y'all come back again. I'm Spanish moss on a live oak tree, southern fried chicken and a cypress knee. I'm the birth of the blues down in New Orleans, the land of dreams. I'm an antebellum home on the Natchez Trace, a rusty plow on the old home place. Azaleas are blooming down in Mobile Bay. I'm the Virginia reel. I'm Derby Day. Oh yes, I'm Southern hospitality with that Nashville sound. I'm a cotton patch and an old coonhound. I'm Daniel Boone, I'm Robert E. Lee, I'm the Seminole Choctaw in the Cherokee. I'm grits for breakfast, I'm a Blue Bayou, I'm turnip greens, and I'm telling you, I'm everything good y'all ever dreamed about. Hush your mouth, I'm the South. Now, the reason I did that is because when I speak, sometimes people get me mixed up with someone from New York or points northeast. To quote that famous philosopher Yogi Berra, I want to thank everyone who made this occasion necessary. When I received the call informing me that I had been selected to receive this prestigious award, I was at the skate park with my grandson. When I answered the phone, the first two voices I heard were those of Bert and Will. Naturally, I thought it was a joke because there's three people that call me: Jim Durst, Bert Boyer, and Will Evans. But before I had a chance to provide an appropriate response to the perceived joke, they reminded me that I was on a speakerphone and I should act accordingly. Actually, I was speechless, some say for the first time in my life. When I think of the wings of freedom, the question that immediately comes to my mind is, wings that provide freedom from what? I suppose the answer is different to each individual, but to me the answer is obvious. Not only to that from which I needed freedom, but the giant wings that provided that freedom. Now, I am told that I only have 5 minutes to speak, so I won't take long. As Tuck told you, I was born the second of 4 sons into an impoverished family in Hickman County, Tennessee. My mama used to take in washing, and we'd keep it. The home in which I grew up didn't have much of an appreciation for education, and there wasn't a lot of encouragement to obtain it. As was stated, my father had a 5th grade education, and my mother never learned to read or write. After very erratic school attendance, I somehow arrived in the 4th grade at Nunley Elementary School. It was there that I encountered the first of many of my heroes, as Tuck has already mentioned. Her name was Miss Audie Jones. Miss Jones taught the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grades in one room. She was a wonderful teacher. She would bring me up to the blackboard so I could see what she had written, and she would say, "Ralph, this is really important. You really need to get this." You see, back in those days, there wasn't such a thing as special education. There were just some kids harder to educate than others. At the end of the 4th grade, Miss Jones contacted the welfare department and said, "I have a kid out here in Nunley that I think may have some ability, but he has gone about as far as I can help him with. Will you contact the Tennessee School for the Blind and see if they will send a representative down to talk to the parents about the possibility of him going to school there?" The school was contacted, and a representative went down and went out into the woods where my daddy was cutting cordwood and sat down on a stump and talked to him about me attending the School for the Blind. My parents agreed, but there was a hitch. Back in those days, they gave a list of clothing that you're supposed to have before you went to the school. Well, my parents didn't have any money to buy those clothing. My daddy had to go to bed so Mama could wash his overalls. Some of you might know about that. So Miss Jones, she took the lead again, and she contacted the local Lions Club, and they purchased me some clothes, and they found an old suitcase to put them in and bought me a bus ticket to TSB. TSB was a wonderful place. It was there that I encountered more heroes, folks like Mo Harrelson, Wilbur Hastings, Gertie Wisdom, E.J. Wood, and many others who helped me further and achieve more than I ever imagined. Because of people like them, I became the first in the history of my family to graduate from high school. You see, the bonds that were holding me captive and the things which I needed freedom were ignorance, apathy, and poverty. The wings that provided that freedom were the Tennessee School for the Blind and the men and women I encountered there who enabled me to see the other side of the mountain and to know that there was something better, and then instilled in me the courage and desire to get it. So when I had a chance, I returned to the Tennessee School for the Blind to begin a lifelong endeavor to pay back a system that provided me with opportunity to be more and go further than I ever thought I could. But you know what? I'm still in debt, but I've run out of time. Educators, you don't know how important you are to the lives of kids with whom you work. For many of those kids, you are the most important person in the world. You are so powerful. You are their wings of freedom from any number of things that keeps them from being all that they can be. And you know, 30 or 40 years from now, when one of those kids come back to you and says, "Do you remember when you said so-and-so? That really made a difference in my life." Folks, money can't buy that. You won't remember it, but money can't buy it. So if I've been judged to be but a pin feather in the wings that have provided a child with the courage, the knowledge, or desire to extricate him or herself from the bonds that enslave them, I, among all men, am most happy. But you should know this: whatever I have accomplished in my life, the hero that has been the sustaining wind beneath my fluttering wings for almost 49 years has been my wife, Linda. So thank you, Tuck, and all the wonderful people here at APH for this singular honor and for being the wings of freedom to countless children all over the world since 1858. Not only around our infancy doth heaven with all its splendors lie, daily with souls that cringe and plot, you Sinai's climb and know it not. Thank you so much.
We're going to hang a little for 50.